The Joe Rogan Experience.
Look, I saw conspiracy theories that Conor threw the fight, or Cowboy threw the fight with Conor.
Oh, people are so stupid, man. I had my cousins like, oh, I can't believe Cowboy would do that. I'm like, do what? He got fucking cracked,
yeah,
man.
do what?
Come
People
on.
are crazy.
Yeah.
I was upset at Stephen A. Smith, and then he made a video responding to me.
Come on.
Listen, Stephen A. Smith, I guess I should respond, right? You're a very entertaining guy. I like you a lot. And I appreciate the props you gave me in that video, but you're wrong.
Yeah.
Cowboy got fucked up with those shoulders in the clinch. He had Conor's arms tied up, and they're in tight spaces. Conor dips low and slams this bone of his shoulder into the nose. And he's at the beginning of the round. Conor's a fucking super explosive guy. Super explosive. All muscle, just fucking pulled tight at the beginning of the fight. And just bang, bang. He got off good shots, and Cowboy was confused.
I think he was flustered.
I
don't think that those shots maybe rocked him.
They broke his nose.
And that could rock you, I guess.
Well,
in a
he's
sense.
got blood pouring out of his nose, so he's not breathing out of his nose now. And then all of a sudden, he's like, fuck, my nose is already fucked up, and he hasn't even punched me yet.
Right.
You know, it was unusual. Like, I could see if someone has a peripheral understanding of the sport and you see that happening, like, come on, man. Or even guys like Mike Bisping. Like, Mike Bisping was like, fucking shoulder strikes. Come on, shoulder strikes. But that said, Mike Bisping is without a doubt one of the toughest human beings that's ever walked the face of the planet. He's like, if he lost an ear, he'd be like, you got another ear.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. He fights with one eye. Come on.
He doesn't give a fuck. He fought a giant chunk of his career against the best fighters in the world, including winning the title with one eye.
Yeah.
Michael Bisping is a fucking dyed-in-the-wool savage.
Yeah.
So if he's like, it's just shoulder strikes. That said, the shoulder strikes didn't end the fight. The shoulder strikes definitely got him off on the wrong foot. Then Cowboy threw a kick to Conor's arms, and then Conor countered with a head kick. Rocked Cowboy bad.
That head kick rocked him good.
You see his legs go, and then Conor hits him with pistons. He hit so hard.
People could say it was a work.
He broke his fucking orbital bone.
Yeah.
But Stephen A. Smith said that he felt like Cowboy quit. He did not quit. He got smashed.
You can't say someone quit after getting their nose broke and rocked and a broken orbital. You can't say he quit.
It's also who you're talking about. You're talking about a guy who has the most fights in the UFC, the most finishes in the UFC, the most head kick knockouts in the UFC, the most bonuses in the UFC. Cowboy is a fucking legend. He is as tough as they come. He's lost before. Every human can lose, especially you're fighting guys like Darren Till and Jorge Masvidal and these fucking animals that he's fighting. He's fighting the cream of the crop, or Conor. And Conor literally broke his face. He broke his nose and he broke his orbital bone. So Stephen A. Smith responded, and then Conor responded. And
I've seen that.
Conor told him to apologize. Yeah. And Conor's right.
Yeah, he is right. I mean, give Conor the credit a little bit.
I think the problem is Stephen A. Smith, who's a very entertaining guy and is very knowledgeable about other sports. This is not his wheelhouse. And also that style of dismissing athletes and putting people down. Like
that's how he kind of made his name.
That's how he made his name. And it's fun to listen to. He's a fun guy to listen to.
Yeah.
He talks great shit, you know? But
I wonder, I mean, I'm sure basketball players are kind of saying the same stuff we're saying when he's criticizing basketball players, though, or football players. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, I don't know too much about that. Jamie, you're a sports fan, right? Do they criticize him too? I mean, he's respected for sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
but that's the show he was on. Is like every day he's got to wake up and give his take, and they got to talk about it for an hour or two.
Yeah.
You know?
And a lot of the take, it's like the controversy is like good.
Yeah, they got to
Shock
get some
value.
shit to
Yes.
talk about. Yeah, and he had a radio show for 3 hours he did after that. So like,
Yeah,
he
lot of-
talks all day long. And,
Right.
Yeah, and and he's entertaining. That's what people like to hear. They like to hear someone passionate. You ever hear him and Teddy Atlas argue after the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather fight?
Yeah.
Because Teddy Atlas is like, Conor McGregor made the best chef in the world be a fucking fast food cook. That's it, basically how they're like back and forth. The two of them yelling and arguing. It's very entertaining.
Yeah.
That's
That's his position, all right?
I just think that this sport demands more appreciation, more respect, and it demands a higher level of reverence to the athletes who literally put their lives on the line. It's different.
I don't think you have to say the guy quit to describe what happened.
No, you could just talk about what Conor did that was so special. Look, the guy finds tricky ways to do things, and those shoulder strikes. Look, we've seen guys do shoulder shrugs before, but we never saw anybody do it successfully. But you got to think about the UFC is a lot of what happens in the UFC is someone out of all these fights finally does something, and then other people start doing that thing. Like, you remember when no one was throwing front kicks to the face?
Yeah.
No one. For
Anderson
all those
and
fucking
Lyoto
years.
and then
Yep. All of a sudden, Anderson knocks out Vitor, who's like one of the elite strikers, knocks him out with a front kick to the face. And you're like, what the fuck?
And then you see everyone trying it.
Nobody ever did it. I don't remember anybody ever, even in kickboxing, people very rarely threw a front kick to the face. It just wasn't, they would teep to the face.
Body, yeah.
But even teeps to the face, it was more like
a range thing.
Yeah, like all you were like pushing his face.
Right.
Like you very rarely, unless someone caught it perfect, saw a guy get knocked out with like a snap front kick with the ball of the foot. Now
It's almost like an uppercut the way it comes off from underneath.
Dude, it's a fucking devastating technique when done correctly. I mean, Justin Buchholz got a KO with it outside of the UFC that's devastating. Lyoto Machida did that jumping front kick to Randy Couture.
Right. Yeah, that was
You knock
nasty.
out Randy Couture with a fucking front kick to the face, that's a legit technique. But then you see everybody doing that, like low calf kicks, right?
Yeah.
First guy I ever saw do it was Benson.
Yeah.
Benson Henderson really got into those low calf
He did
kicks.
it to me.
Yeah, right. Those are rough, man.
Yeah.
But now everybody throws those kicks. You got to think of how many years went by before people were not throwing low calf kicks. I guarantee you now, when people get tied up in the clinch and someone's holding someone with double overhooks or whatever, I don't remember how Conor had a hold of, or Cowboy had a hold of Conor.
Over-under, right?
Over-under, was it over-under?
Yeah.
When someone's tied up in the clinch and you can't strike, you're going to see guys do that.
100%.
Because this is a bone, man.
Yeah.
It's a fucking bone right there.
And if
that
anything,
is
it's
hard.
just something to distract them, to move to something else.
But this, where your shoulder, the top of your shoulder, that's fucking hard.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not the ideal thing to strike with, but when there's nothing else there, there's something there. Yeah, I could see how Stephen Smith would not think that was effective. I could see. But for me, it was clearly effective. There were hard shots. There's a lot of power behind it. There's a lot of explosion. Conor dipping his level and coming up and slamming into it. It was kind of crazy.
But even if you take that away, the head kick and the punches to finish, no one's quitting there.
He's not quit. He got beat down. He got beat down and smashed by a guy who rises to the occasion. Look, Cowboys had problems in the past with these really big fights, and he looked nervous as fuck, and he talks about it openly.
Yeah.
There was a video that they played, which I don't think they should have played, before the fight, because he had to hear that. So they're playing a video of him describing how nervous he gets before fights and how he's...
Throws up, right?
Yeah.
All that stuff.
And also about how he's kind of faking it. He's
Yeah.
pretending like he's fine, but he's not inside.
Yeah.
I'm freaking the fuck out. They played that before he fought. I'm like, why are you doing that?
Thinking about it even more.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. I was saying, fuck, he does not need to hear this.
That's why I'm in the locker room. When I'm in the locker room and the TV's on, I'm always like, turn that volume down. I don't want to hear anybody talking about my fight. Turn that shit down.
Good for you. Good for you. I mean, I'm cognizant of that when I see a guy in the locker room and I'm talking. I try to pump him up. I want him to feel good.
Yeah.